We are in a weather alert because it has happened again. Heavy, intense rain has flooded parts of Metro Detroit, and it's many of the same spots. Drivers being rescued from the roofs of their cars. Cars are stalled, and neighborhoods are again underwater.
We've got team coverage tonight with Grant Herms along the Southfield Freeway in Detroit, Larry Spruill in Dearborn Heights, where they are unfortunately used to this, and Tim Paplin along I-94. We will have a look at all the damage in a moment, but we do want to start things off with Andrew.
Andrew, you've got a new update here about what we expect now in the hours to come.
And Karen and Devin, it's the broken record no one likes around Detroit or Southeast Michigan, or of course anywhere. That is the heavy rain and the flooding we saw earlier. But I do have at least a couple of pieces of good news. The flash flood warnings that were up, you can see them disappearing within the past few hours. In fact, within the past 60 minutes. So that at least is some good news. But look at how much rain has fallen, and there's still a lot of high standing water, which we'll get to in a second. But over 2 inches in places like Livonia, over 3 inches along the Southfield Freeway by estimates with Storm Tracker 4, and 2 to 3 inches throughout much of the metro area. You take a look for yourself at some of the rain totals recorded by you. Garden City, nearly 4 inches at 3.73 inches, easily over an inch in Farmington Hills, White Lake, and also in Marine City. So not only here in Motown, but we got hit hard across a good portion of Southeast Michigan. Fortunately, the rain is now leaving, but the very warm air, the very muggy air, that is remaining. It's 77 over in Mount Clemens, 81 for our friends over in Port Huron. But where the sun is coming out big time, we are skyrocketing back into the middle 80s. And it feels even hotter than that. Over at Metro Airport, it's 85, but it feels like it's close to 90. So be careful with high standing water around, and we still need to prepare for the high heat and humidity for the rest of the day. And for this weekend, we'll talk about even higher temperatures for Saturday and Sunday coming up.
All right, Andrew. Now, parts of Detroit's west side have been hit especially hard by all this rain.
I want you to take a look at this, a live look from Sky 4 at all the water on Southfield and Tireman. Grant Herms is not far from Sky 4 along the Southfield Freeway, where people once again had to be rescued from the rising water. Grant.
It was more than a few people, too, out here along the Southfield Freeway. Now, I'm going to show you some of the flooding that's here along Joy Road, but this is dotted all along the freeways and highways, including 94 and 96. In fact, just a little while ago, a few hours ago, actually, MSP blocked off the Southfield 96 exit, and all of that pushed people into the neighborhoods and the side streets. And when they got there, they found themselves in even more flood water. In some cases, they were waiting in traffic for so long, that included us as we were trying to get here, found themselves in water that was rising as they were waiting to try to get around even other kinds of flood water. And as we were in those neighborhoods, and I want to show you something here, people were using shovels and rakes, even their hands, to dig out trash like this from clogged storm drains, hoping that they could do anything to relieve some of this water, to get it to go down from their neighborhoods, because they said they just couldn't take any more. Now, I want you to take a look at some of these images we got from along the Southfield Freeway here. Lines of cars trying to make their way through high water, folks having to push other people out of that high water when they stalled out. And one of our photographers, Eric Lewis, came across this woman who was stranded along the Southfield Freeway, trapped by the water here. You can see that she had to open her windows to get out of her car because she couldn't open her doors, and then she had to wait on the roof of her car for rescuers to jump into action, find a way to get to her, and then finally bring her back to dry land. This is what she had to say when she was out of that water.
I had called my family and I was just saying my car is sinking, somebody needs to come and get me because I am like pregnant and I'm not trying to lose the baby.
Certainly a very scary situation there for that woman. And this is happening right in the middle of rush hour, so it's going to cause a lot of headaches for those folks trying to get home today who may have watched this storm from their offices. Let's get now to our Larry Spruill, who's down in Dearborn watching more flooding down there. Larry?
Good evening, Grant. We are live here in a Dearborn Heights neighborhood where it is a completely different scene just versus an hour ago. As you can see, most of the water at this intersection is gone. Just take a look at just some of the remains left. And that's because since 4 o'clock, neighbors really tried to clean out the drains in order to allow the water to clear up, and it looked like it worked. But I want to show you this car right over here, this black SUV. It got stuck earlier. Water was all the way up to the window right here. It got stuck trying to make its way through, and I spoke with one neighbor who literally tried to help save that woman get out of her car. This is cell phone video of the severe flooding in this Dearborn Heights neighborhood at the intersection of DaCosta and Midway. You can see this black SUV attempting to drive through the water when she got stuck. Ali Aboub says he hopped in his canoe and tried to help the pregnant woman get out of the car.
We tried to save her, but we couldn't reach the car. It was high water up to the truck hood. So finally later we find out she's pregnant, and we tried the best,
Ali was able to reach her and help her get out. Neighbors tell me flooding right here at this intersection is nothing new.
It is every time. Nowhere, if you look in here, it's like a valley, very deep. I'm 6'1". It's almost like today, the water up in here.
And neighbors say although it floods every time it really get a heavy rain, they are sick and tired of all of this happening. Now, who they are blaming for this backup, also, I'm going to show you what happened during our interview when another car tried to drive through the water. I'm working on that part of the story all new tonight at 6. We are live in Dearborn Heights tonight. Larry Spruill, Local 4.
All right, thank you, Larry. And things weren't much better on the east side.
Tim Pamplin was along I-94 and Connor, where crews had to use an unorthodox method to get the road back open. Tim.
We're at I-94 and Connor. That school bus traveling westbound. This is the eastbound situation. One vehicle stranded in the water there, cars and trucks getting by on the left-hand lane. Now look at this. This wake of water is being generated by that road commission truck. As it creates that wake, that vehicle is getting moved each time, slightly now. Earlier it was much more obvious as that car would bounce left a little bit more each time into the way of that traffic coming up the rear. Again, I believe this is a method by the road commission to try and clear the storm drain. They're just hauling that big truck backwards and forwards over the grates, trying to dislodge any debris that is down there. That is the scene along 94 at Connor. Tim Pamplin, Local 4.
Is quite a look at it. All right, Tim, the Local 4 weather app will send alerts right to your phone to warn you if flooding could be an issue where you live or work or happen to be driving. Free to download. Search WDIV in the App Store.
We're following breaking news from Pontiac, where the Sheriff's Department is asking for help locating a missing 6-year-old. Detectives say Jace Jamison is with his biological mother, who does not have legal custody and refuses to return him to his grandmother.
Grandmother says she was concerned for the boy because his mother, Dajanay Jamison, was with a man who served time for abusing the child when he was younger. If you recognize the boy or the woman in this picture, you're urged to contact the Oakland County Sheriff's Department right away.
Now to another increase in coronavirus cases in Michigan. The state is reporting 3,958 cases over the last 2 days. That averages out to 1,979 cases a day. We lost another 69 lives to the virus. With the school year about to start, Wayne County became the latest in the state to step up its COVID safety plan.
County is mandating masks for students and staff regardless of vaccination status.
It joins Oakland County, which issued a mask mandate for everyone earlier this week.
Now, the 3 biggest counties in Metro Detroit, Macomb does not have a mask mandate in place. Paula Tutman spoke with officials in Wayne County today about their new mask move.
And then there was Wayne County, and according to the governor's office, that means 53% of schools across the state of Michigan now have mask mandates. That's 197 school districts. Today, the Wayne County Public Health Department took the fight out of the issue of mask mandates by implementing them in all schools and daycares in Wayne County, including Wayne Westland schools, which had been a mask optional district up until about 1:30 today. By the way, their start of school is this Monday.
I was happy to see, again, the decisions come from the Wayne County Health Department. We've said that all along, that we were going to abide by whatever recommendations, mandates, or guidance that they had.
Today's order specifically directs schools and daycares to require indoor wearing of face masks for all pre-kindergarten through grade 12 students, regardless of their vaccine status. And it also requires face masks be worn indoors by all teachers, administrative staff, other employees, parents, guardians, attendees, and volunteers. And in fact, when the Wayne County Health Department takes a look at what's been happening to other districts with optional masks,
And we've seen school districts who have already gone back into the classroom for in-person learning, and they have thousands of children now in quarantine because they've come into contact with COVID-19. So we're trying to prevent a worst case scenario type of situation from happening in Wayne County.
Dr. Davita Colbert, superintendent for Wayne RESA, put out a written statement saying, I am appreciative of the Wayne County Health Department for providing a clear directive on the appropriate COVID-19 safety measures for Wayne County schools. As educators, the superintendents and school leaders of Wayne County are doing everything they can to provide a safe in-person learning environment for all students, staff, and visitors. Our goal is for in-person learning to be a viable option with minimal interruption due to outbreaks or the need for quarantines throughout the entire 2021-22 school year. Paula Tutman, Local 4.
All right, so while Wayne and Oakland counties are mandating masks in the schools, Macomb County is resisting a mandate.
And I got a chance to speak with Macomb County Executive Mark Hackle today, and he defended leaving it up to the local districts.
Of the 21 districts here in Macomb County, they have all come up with a decision. They've worked with our health department since the onset of this COVID crisis, and even throughout this, and every one of them has a mask policy or a mask plan in place. They didn't ask me to make any decision for them. They're all very comfortable with the decision they've made.
You can see my full conversation with not only Mark Hackle, but all three executives from Macomb, Oakland, and Wayne counties this weekend. Flashpoint comes your way at 10 a.m. on Sunday, just before Meet the Press. Staying on top of the flooding in the area, but Hank has an important notice if you were impacted by the floods from earlier this summer. Hank?
Crews still out here picking up storm-related damage, but the clock is ticking. What you need to know before the city starts rolling out big fines.
The eviction moratorium is now over after a late-night decision by the Supreme Court. We'll break down what that means for renters and landlords.
Getting out of Afghanistan, it's complicated and dangerous. I'm Tracy Potts. Coming up, we've got the latest on the Biden administration and the rush to get now 500 Americans to safety.